every day. Aim high, miss never. Welcome to Mortgage Influence. This podcast is dedicated to bringing you cutting-edge tips to truly influence at a completely higher level. I'm Adam Hires. I help loan officers quickly add multiple six figures to their income. If you're trying to grow your business now with skills your competition doesn't even know exist, have the clarity what to do every single day to win, and run a true business that provides you the income to fund your lifestyle while having the freedom to go on vacations and leave your phone on the nightstand all day long. Head over to hirescoaching.com, smash the consultation button today, and quickly begin your path to having an unfair advantage in your market now. How to flood your pipeline with referrals from agents without pushing, pressuring, or pleading. We're going to talk about 3 steps you could do today. Start putting in action so you can get a flood of referrals from agents without feeling icky, sticky, like you just had to beg for business. Actually attracting agents into your sphere. That way you can be the most trusted advisor that they've ever experienced working with. So great things going on at Hires Coaching. You can go over to hirescoaching.com and schedule a consultation call today. Also going to put in a link. Right now, we have a lift-off program, a special lift-off program. If you're doing 0 to 3 loans per month and you want to scale your business, you want to figure out the marketing of the elite to be just an elite marketer. That way you can flood referrals in, you can attract partnerships, you can have a real sales mechanism. Here's the deal. You can have the best rates and still starve. You can be the best loan officer, know all the programs, know all the stuff, and still starve. What you really need is a sales system that systematically, predictably gets you into conversations and then able to convert those, not just the agents, wanting a cup of coffee, or not the ones that just, hey, listen, can you pay for my ads or marketing? You can do all that and still starve. You need a systematic approach to actually get into conversations, convert at a high level. That way you can grow your business this year and beyond, scale past your goals. So right now we have a lift-off program specifically to help you do that. It's very affordable. If you want to actually grow your business, you can do it. There's no excuses not to grow your business and invest in yourself. So jump on a call with me today. We'll talk about that and much more, and really help you identify some of the problems that you know you have, and some of the ones you probably don't know you have. And that's where real coaching comes into place. Okay, so how to flood your pipeline with referrals from agents without pushing, pressuring, or pleading. Have you felt that way before? Like you push, pressure, plead. Oh, let me just call all these agents. Let me see if they'll please give me a nugget. Give me a chance. Hey, let me be one of 3. All that other garbage, which really doesn't do much good, right? Like you probably struggled if you're especially doing 0 to 3 loans a month. Even if you're doing 10, I've met people that are really doing well, but they still feel like, man, this is just doesn't feel good. It feels like it's tough still. It just feels like, I have to still beg for that business. And I'm here to share with you that doesn't have to happen. So we're going to have 3 steps here. We're going to talk about specifically on a high level view, get you to start thinking about these steps and where you can put in place. If you need more help on this, obviously we could help you, but you're going to already start figuring out some of these action steps you could put in place so you can attract more referral partners and start growing your business. So the number one thing you need to do to start attracting rather than begging is get a power statement. Now, what is a power statement? Glad you asked. A power statement is going to be who you help. Who do you help specifically? Now, you may say, well, clients. Well, I'm a loan officer. I help clients. Absolutely. You're a loan officer. You help clients. Go a little deeper, right? Like, who do you help? Okay. Now, depending on who you're trying to get your message out to, and today we're specifically talking about what? Talking about real estate agents, right? So if you're trying to get that message out, you help real estate agents. However, deeper layer than that, like who do you really help? And getting in specifically like what that person, who that person is. It's called an avatar. You can name that person and say, hey, listen, John, this is who they are. This is how many deals they do. This is, what their aspirations are, what their fears are. And when you have messaging go out there and you're marketing, when you have internal belief, like, listen, I am helping John. These are the things I can help them with. This is the things that they struggle with. And then you can have a better, more clear, concise message. You can know that you help that person, because a lot of times what happens, right, is like you think, oh, well, I'm not all things to all people. We know that's not something we should try to do. However, we still do it, especially in our marketing messages. If we're like, hey, I just want to help real estate agents. Okay, cool. Well, then you think, well, what if this real estate agent needs this? What if this real estate agent needs this? Or what if I don't have this program, that? And then shrinking. And then when you show up, you feel like you're begging for business, because now you have to spew out everything you do, come to the meeting, all, just out of whack. And you're not attracting, you are pushing them away, because you're trying to push, you're trying to pressure, you're trying to do all those things, you're trying to plead for the business. So getting a power statement, knowing exactly who you're speaking to, the exact person you're speaking to, is going to resonate your message. In this power statement, who do you help? How do you specifically help them? So getting into that message, like, for example, real estate agents, not just, hey, I close loans fast. By the way, that could be a thing that you take off the pressure, because there's three things that real estate agents need that they talk about what they want. They want you to close on time. They want you to have good communication, and they want you to follow up on leads. Now, if you go to, and that's all you're talking about, and you're talking about it in a way that everybody else, it sounds the same, your message gets washed out. If you're coming to a meeting and you're saying, oh, I'm really good in communication, and oh, you're going to love this, and this is communication, you're spewing like 5 minutes of how you communicate, and their eyes are just glossed over, like, oh my gosh, like, when is this going to end? Then guess what? You're not attracting, you're pushing, pressuring, and pleading. So to do that, like, who do you help? How do you help them? What's the thing specifically? Already kind of knowing that. And then, when you have the marketing message out there, but also when you're in a meeting, you got to know, like, I've got to figure out what their needs specifically are. How do I help them? But when you kind of have those messaging already going inside internal belief, it's going to come out in a different way. It's going to come out in a more attractive way. Next thing is, what do you get rid of? So, for example, we're talking about on here, without pushing, pressuring, pleading, getting rid of that, because our sales system is far different. Our clients learn skills their competition doesn't even know exist. We do that through our proven proprietary perfect meeting formula. It is next level. We have people going from converting 0 to 1 out of 10 appointments with high level partnerships to 7 out of 8 partnerships, and getting 25 referrals in the first month off those partnerships. So good referral partners. So we're getting rid of the pushing, pressuring, pleading. We're getting rid of those things that normally is associated with, and we're injecting like what we do, this proven proprietary method, which we absolutely have over here. You need to have it. You need to know it. You need to be good at it, but you also need to, really put that message out. So who do you help? How do you help them? What do you get rid of? What do you get rid of in the process that everybody else is in there? And it's kind of like, it's not something that that you want, and, or they want. So for example, it could be, maybe you're getting rid of, if you're following up with, you're doing an amazing job with, their leads, and you have a follow through system that's just like nobody's else's business, and you're really talking about that, and you have that systematic. So when you're in a conversation, of course, you dive in deep in that conversation, and then perhaps that's something that's involved already, but because you're talking about that specific thing, but you're getting rid of, like, without, for example, you're going to close more deals without you making an extra call, right? So you're getting rid of it. And we're going to do that through this proven proprietary touch point system, whatever that is. So your new way will accomplish this goal. So it could be that way you can close up to $27,000 more in commissions just like my agents have done. My best agents have done it in this market, closing an extra $27,000 in commissions a year just without lifting a finger, right? So we can have this messaging going on. We can have videos, we can have testimonials, we can have these things going in, but we're really specifically about our power statement. And of course, you can have different ones and kind of, depending on what you're talking about, but you can talk about the same kind of messaging over and over. This is going to attract more people. So having that power statement is vital, vital, vital. Number two way to how to flood your pipeline with referrals from agents without pushing, pressuring, or pleading. Number two, have a message that gets people to stop, focus, and be fascinating. So we kind of talked about that in number one, getting a power statement. These are going to layer on each other. So when you're out there and you're marketing, it can't sound the same. Like, it is better to sound new than it is to sound it's better to sound new and different than it is to sound better. Make sense? So it's 100% more effective to sound different, new, than it is so much the better. Now you can have both, and definitely, but really keying in on, like, this is different, this is new, this is proprietary, this is the thing that's going to help you, and really getting that fascination, because you want them to get FOMO, fear of missing out, like fear of missing out on this, like fear of missing out that they could be working with a partnership that actually is able to do X, Y, and Z. Remember, again, I talked about it earlier. You can be the best loan officer and still starve, meaning you can really be good at your job. How many do you know that's really good at your job? Maybe you're really good at your job now. You can close loans efficiently. You just, people are very happy with your services, but you're still starving or still not hitting the goals you want to. Maybe you're doing okay, but you kind of feel like you're starving because, we talk about there's 3 stages of business, right? And number 1 stage can feel like really a lot of pressure, a lot of angst, a lot of just, is this thing going to work out? Because you're in that cash flow stage and you don't really have the cash flow. And so this is a thing that, when we look at it, we got to say, we're new, we're different. We got this way of growing somebody's business. So stop, focus, be fascinated. This is something that we need to be working on in our messaging, because it's not okay just to say, hey, we're really good. Because again, like just mentioned, you can be really good at your job but still starve, right? But if you can get your message out there better than the next person, better than the other LO, then you will be the one that wins, even if they are better than you as far as structuring deals. Obviously, you got to take care of people. For referrals to continue coming in, you got to take care of the business. You got to do a great job, because there's 3 ways you add value to someone. You take care of the business, you grow their business, and you have fun. So you got to take care of the business, right? You have to take care of the business, we know, but you're going to do that. Like, I'm going to assume you're going to do that, right? You are going to take care of the business. So it's not a matter of taking care of the business. It's about resonating your message out there. It sounds new, proprietary, and something they may miss out. Okay. Number three things you're going to need to how to flood your pipeline with referrals from agents without pushing, pressuring, pleading is you have to, and this is key, because it does not matter how many times you go to an appointment. It doesn't matter, how many calls, and yeah, technically it matters, but that's not the only thing that matters, right? By the way, the people that just teach lead gen, call more people, make more appointments, and that's really the only basis of what they're talking about. Guess what? They are really underserving you. It's real easy to coach on just make more calls. Cool, we can do that too. However, the big key is number 3 is you have a sales process that predictably helps your partner view you as their most valuable asset. So number 3, have a sales process that predictably helps your partner view you as their best most valuable asset, right? They view you as that leader. And the sales process has to be there, because you can go on meetings, you can have these conversations and try to like pitch and, oh man, I got this best product, this, and I got this, that, and oh my gosh, I got the lowest rates in town, and oh, we're closing faster than fast, and all these other things. But guess what? It's not really going to matter if you don't take them down a predictable sales process that leads them to say, hey, I want to know next steps. Hey, like, I've got referrals for you. Hey, this is going to be great. They're telling themselves, not just telling you, they're telling themselves why it's so vital to work with you, why this would be a great experience, why this would be a great experience for their clients. And they're telling you, and you can do that with this predictable sales process. So if you're going in, you're thinking, well, it's kind of a happenstance whether I get it or not, or, oh, by the way, like they have right now, like everybody's calling these agents, or, oh, if I sit down with them, they already have someone, and it's like, I can't close them because I can't get them to send me business because, they got someone. That's because you don't have a predictable sales process. That's because you're going down and it's happenstance. You're going right. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You're trying to build rapport off the bat. Hey, how's the weather going? Oh man, oh, me too. I got kids there too. Oh my gosh, yeah, they're okay. And then it's like, oh, hey, okay. So let me share with you what we've got. We've got this program, we got this. Okay, cool. Like, all right, awesome. Like, you want to do some business together? And then they're like, well, I've got other partners, but yeah, I'll try to sing something. They sound a little bit like that, right? And you're like, okay, cool. I think it went great. And then you either follow up or you don't follow up, because you kind of know the answer is probably not going to go well. And then you never get the referrals, or you get like the junk pile, right? You get yeah, they're sending me referrals. I don't know why I'm getting these referrals that are good. And then you look up and they're closing a lot of deals, right? They're closing with somebody else. And this is all because you don't have a predictable sales process. Having this predictable sales process is not about trickery, by the way. It's about getting out the best, bringing out the best in them. It's about loving and valuing them. It's about conversation about them. And a lot of people say, well, I know I can just have a conversation about them, so all I need to do is ask questions about them. Kind of. That's better than probably maybe what you're doing. But it's not a predictable sales process, and still can lend to not getting the sale, because now you're kind of just like, hey, call me maybe. And I talked about them, I asked them the questions, but you still didn't have a predictable sales process to lead them down the path of, wow, I really want to work together. I don't get this from my partner. I'm not listened to like this. They don't, by the way, if you know their problems, if you know their issues better than they do, you can diagnose it better than they do. Wow, you are a trusted advisor. You are the most valuable asset, because a lot of times we have hidden gaps we don't know about. That's why we, as a coach, will get on and we'll have those conversations, because you're going to probably have gaps gaps you don't know. And that's only done through a predictable sales process that actually is not, it's consultative, right? It's a consult. It's not like pitchy. It's because, listen, can I help this person? You go in like, I don't know if I can help this person or not. Maybe they're not a fit for me. Maybe they don't fit within my avatar. Maybe they're wanting to do business in a way that I really don't want to do business, and this is going to be too frictional. So you're showing up, but then you're asking the questions. You're going down the predictable sales process that lends them to being their best self, to you having the best partnership. And then when they do come in the walls, it's not just that you got the sale. It's not that you just got the referrals. It's got the right referrals. You have the right relationship set up correctly. And it's just a mutual respect. That way that you can have a great relationship for you and the client, because you can help them at a higher level. And guess what? Everybody's just working together hand in hand. Only works through a predictable sales process. And that's why we have clients routinely way over 50% on their conversion from good agent, qualified agent, going to a meeting, to getting sent referrals and being the number one source of referrals. So again, we've had people like Trevor, 7 out of 8, right off the bat, using that perfect meeting formula when he was going from not getting the referrals. He was 0 out of 10, or 1 out of 10. on going to these meetings. This is very typical, by the way. Probably where you're at now is 0 out of 10, 1. Oh, no, I'm converting at 3 or 4. I hear that. And it's like, okay, how many referrals are you getting? Okay. Is it actually qualified agent? I'm talking about qualified agents referring you business predictably, and knowing that. It's great to know that and say, hey, here's the issue. I'm getting on the appointments. I just can't convert them. Well, great. Let's talk about that. Let's do it. But it's not that you, and it's not your fault. Like, you've never been taught this before. You've never been taught how to sell on these meetings. If you've been in another program, like they kind of like really don't teach you the predictable sales process. And that's like, hey, do the frog method, friends, recreational dreams and all that. Listen, that's not a bad thing to lace in there, but that's not going to be enough to run a predictable sales process that lends them to telling you why it's important to work with you. And that's what we teach inside our walls at Hires Coaching. Hey, check us out. Have a conversation with us. We won't high pressure sell you. I'm not going to push pressure or please you. If you truly want help, you truly want to grow your business, guess what? You have an MLS number. You can speak. You can get up in the morning, right? You have you have these capabilities. Guess what? If you have the desire to grow, you're probably in a better position than a lot of our clients that come to us and grown. So, it can happen for you too. You just haven't been trained the skills to do so. So check us out. But for today as well, like, think about these 3 steps. Think about ways you can predictably attract more referral partners. That way you're not pushing, pressure, and pleading, just feeling icky and feeling like you want to give up and, hey, do I have to go do something else? Or, I'm never really going to hit my goals, or I got to wait until the big surge, the refi business. You don't have to wait for any of those. You can start taking more market share. Don't believe the hype. Like, people are growing right now in this market, and we're no better than you. They just have a better, these are 3 things they can have in place to grow that. And we're seeing the clients grow right now. So don't, believe in yourself. Just because you haven't done it before, or just because you're not doing it right now and having that success, doesn't mean that's your future. If you so choose it not to be your future, and you choose your future to invest in your skills, the roadmap to do so, and you got the confidence to grow your business, which is the 3 things that we really work on with you. Holistic approach to grow your business and predictably have sales in your pipeline. We'll see you soon. Hirescoaching.com. You rock. Limited risk equals limited income.